Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nadlan Forum Podcast Daily. Ruby here, as always, with Leo. Today, we're diving into a housing market twist we haven't seen in ages, 2025's buyer's market. Like seriously, it's doing cartwheels compared to what we saw just a couple years ago.
Yeah, let's just look at the numbers. In August, there were 35% more sellers than buyers. Over 500,000 more sellers, to be kind of exact. 915 more sellers on the market. If you go back, that's the lowest number of buyers we've seen since, I wanna say 2013. Unless we're counting that weird moment when everything froze during the pandemic, right?
Right. And what's wild? Mortgage rates have dropped a bit, so you'd think buyers would be rushing back, but nope, they're still cautious. It's like, even with the reduced rates, there's hesitation, Almost like everyone's waiting for something else to happen, maybe worried that if the economy gets wobbly, rates might drop because things get even stickier overall.
Exactly. And that's not just speculation. Chenjo from Redfin actually said we haven't seen a big jump in buyer demand yet. It's this double-edged thing. Yeah, rates go down, but if it's because the economy isn't strong, suddenly it's not as rosy for everyone. Seller even started pulling back, listing fewer houses than earlier in the year because they don't see the buyers lining up like before.
And honestly, it's changing the whole vibe at open houses. I'll tell you, in my Sydney suburb, I know, slightly off topic, but stay with me. For the first time ever, I walked into an open house last weekend and they were serving espresso shots at the door. Full barista setup. One agent was running a mini yoga class in the backyard for mindful home shopping, I swear. People still weren't biting. They just sipped their coffee, did some stretches, then shuffled off to the next listing. That's how weirdly picky and careful buyers have gotten, even when the market's offering more inventory than it has in years.
Yeah, it's the same. And not just in Australia. Here in the US, a buyer can walk into a place and know they've got options. They don't have to jump at the first house anymore. Very different from what we talked about a few episodes back, where bidding wars were practically guaranteed.
That brings us to the wild patchwork happening across regions. Like Miami, did you see the math on this? 21,230 sellers versus 8,746 buyers. That's a 143% seller to buyer ratio. Fort Lauderdale and Austin are right up there too, with tons more listings than people looking. Flip over to Newark or Nassau County in New York, and it's totally reversed. Still sellers markets.
Yeah, and in some of those heavy surplus cities, buyers are calling the shots big time. Redfin, John Tomlinson, the agent in Fort Lauderdale, he said buyers these days, they're just honestly picky. They want everything done, move-in ready, and if they see even minor repair issues, old water heater like bad paint, they just walk away. A year ago, those same buyers would have begged sellers for a chance. Now it's fix the dishwasher or we're gone.
It's so different from last episode too, when we were talking about people settling for fixer-uppers, willing to take on projects just to get a foot in. This now, it's like the pendulum totally swung the other way.
Yeah, and I see a little parallel here with Tel Aviv. Back there, even a tiny increase in available homes, you see price swings straight away. Maybe it's a cultural thing, but it's almost like everyone's waiting for signs to move. But in the US now, it reminds me of Miami and Austin. A sudden jump in inventory, suddenly power flips, and buyers get choosy. We didn't really see this kind of selectivity outside of markets like New York or San Francisco before. It's new for a lot of cities.
Totally. And in those places still holding on to sellers' market status, like Nassau County, it's a scarcity game. Peggy, what's her last name? Papaza Harius. Yeah, she was saying sellers there can still ask for over asking price, demand whatever closing date they want, but even they notice buyers want move-in ready. No one wants to hassle unless they're getting a major deal.
Buyers know they have the upper hand in most cities now. But the ones where scarcity rules, sellers know how to play that hand too. Bottom line, everyone's got stronger expectations. It's not take what you can get anymore. It's who's got the leverage this week.
Affordability sits underneath all this, right? Especially in the Sun Belt, Austin, Miami, Las Vegas. For a while, everyone wanted in, but high prices and rates just froze out local buyers. Now, with buyers picky and inventory high, price growth is stuck. You know, in those 33 official buyers markets, prices rose like 1.8%, while in the 5 seller markets, it was more like 6%. It's a real split.
And don't forget about new construction, especially in Florida and Texas. That's just adding to the choice buyers have. So sellers either drop prices, fix things up, or risk sitting on the market. But somewhere like Nassau County, there's not much new building. So prices get pushed way up, just by default. Peggy said sellers are actually pulling off over-ask sales, even with all the national headlines about a buyer's market.
So the big question is when or if those dropping mortgage rates will finally pull more buyers back in? Or does all the economic uncertainty just keep people frozen? Like, is now time to make a move, or is it better to wait? I feel like we've circled this question since, episode 3 when we dug into affordability and timing your jump.
Yeah, it's almost the same answer as back then. Everyone's situation is different. If you're ready and see the right fit, don't sit out hoping something magical happens. But you gotta be strategic. Understand the local inventory. Don't skip on inspections. Maybe work with an agent who really knows the neighborhood. And, watch those rates and headlines. But don't let fear drive every decision.
Couldn't agree more. Sometimes the perfect moment's a myth, but at least now buyers finally have some breathing room to be a little more choosy or to walk away if something doesn't feel right. All right, that's it from us for today. This market isn't done shifting, so we'll keep tabs on where it goes next.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. Ruby, always fun chatting with you. See you all next time. Bye.
See you, Leo. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.